Hello, this is Cheryl Wilson, and I'm an abstract painter, and I wanted to share with you these 8x8 acrylic layered abstract florals that I did. And I show you from the blank canvas all the way to the different painting styles that I used. And I talk about some of the reasons why I've learned that the techniques that help make a successful painting. It's taken me a lot of experimentation, a lot of painting, a lot of practice to understand some of the techniques that can be used that create a painting that I absolutely love. All right, I've been inspired since I took over some flowers to my neighbor after she did me a really great favor. And so I took some flowers over, and I've been inspired to paint flowers, which is not something I normally do. So I thought I would go ahead and just turn on the video and take some of the thoughts that are going through my mind while I'm painting. So I'm using a Atelier let's see, it is Pthalo Green, which is also a Pthalo Green of Liquitex. Liquitex Hooker's Green, and a Lukas Mint, and a Liquitex Soft Body Emerald Green. And I will probably grab other colors along the way, but I'm going to apply the paint. I have a little palette next to me. I'm going to apply the paint with different brushes and a palette knife. So I'm going to do this, just do the background. I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to use a palette knife. I love this dark green. Now the paint is starting to mix. This will give a nice background. Now I'm just grabbing. So let's see, I'm going to need a little bit more. I want some more of this dark. I love that. I'm going to get some more of the mint. A lot of this will be covered up. I love it mixing together. Oh, a beautiful swipe. So, there's some more. The blending is just gorgeous. I'm going to add some more dark up here. All right, I'm going to let this dry. And then I will take it to the next step. I'm just doing like lines, like sort of like I would if I were to make a leaf. While it's still somewhat wet. A lot of this will get covered up, but it's still pretty to do this. Make like little, almost leaf-like looking design. I'm going to sprinkle some of these a little bit of white, because I love the sprinkle. Okay, let that continue to dry. Now that the canvases are dry, I'm going to start on the flowers and the petals and the abstractness of the colors. So I'm going to pop you over to my palette, and I have pulled out different pinks, some yellows, and a violet. There's a Lukas rose color right there. Some Liquitex. I'm using like a medium magenta. There's a light magenta from Goldens. There is a thicker body medium violet from Goldens that was getting kind of dry, so I added some water to that. There's a quinacridone magenta from Liquitex. A couple different ones. That's the Indian yellow and a Hansa yellow medium, both a high flow. Well, actually, I think the yellow was a Liquitex yellow. So there's the palette, and so let's get started on the actual painting. Working on very abstract. So this is not a floral painting that you're necessarily going to really see. I mean, I may get into some of those, but my flowers for the most part are going to be very abstract. And I'm using a smattering of brushes. Of course, the palette knife. And I have a couple spatulas. I've got this catalyst. So I have a couple utensils I'm going to use. And get some paper towel. Get that ready. The other color I didn't put down, but I know I'm going to want, is a very lime, or it's a lime green or a green gold. So I'm going to throw some of that in. There's a basic, so I'm going to put that on my palette, because I know that I'm going to feel like I'm missing that. So let's just start with a catalyst, and let's just see where this takes us. These are beautiful colors. So I'm just playing around. Okay, so let's switch tools, and let's go to a brush with a round on the top. I'm going to add here real pretty pinks in there. Kind of dollop that. It's just a see. I think on this one I'm just going to kind of go kind of wild, like, yeah. I'm going to throw in Here's some of the, it's going to be like a longer flower. Going some of the yellow. I'm not quite sure what kind of flower that's called, but I like it when it's kind of a wild look, so let's kind of go with that. Do another one of these things. My yellow's gotten kind of mushed together. So I'm going to add some more there. Some yellow right in the middle of both of those. Let them blend. I always like, I'm going to reach and put a couple of these colors up here. I always like to use my white and let me get my water. Kind of do a little different there. I'm going to add some of the white to some of my magenta over here and get it watery. So I'm going to have some of the magenta here drip a little. There. Let's see. I'm just adding some very random strokes. With a palette knife again. Now this is where I may want to bring in some of my green gold. I'm dragging my palette knife sideways through the paint. Let's see. I may want to add some orange in here. So I'm going to get some of the Pyrrole Orange. I've talked about that before. on, you can't even see it. I've used it up a lot. So I don't know why I got up on that. So anyway, let's. Okay. Now let's work a little bit on. I'm going to add a little bit more of the green gold. And then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to bring in some darker green. You know, sometimes I like, let's see if I can find a brush that will do that. Let me see. I like the dark green mixed in with that lime green, or green gold, I guess you could call it. Just adding some leaves, or kind of the appearance, maybe a leaf or two. I mean, you can definitely tell these are abstract flowers. I think you can. Let's see. All right, now this is just giving another point of texture. Just need some orange. Maybe finger. I may go in with pin on this one. I'm going to add a little cover up with that green. There we go. I like that. So let's take a look. Just adding some white and rub in some of that. Some of that. A lot of times what I like to do is I like to add to and take away. Right. Wildness on that one. We need something here, so I almost need a darker, something going on there. Need it darker, kind of to balance it out. I need it a little darker over here. So what I'm going to look for now is just balance in the composition. And how I do that is by just looking to see, I guess, what color I am wanting. It's like, what color am I like craving, so to say. This one I think I want some more dark. And what I may do, and let's hope I don't ruin this. I'm going to mix a combination of some of the blue, some of the violet together. Actually, I want it a little darker than that, so I may. And that's too contrite. What I mean by that is I wanted that to be more abstract-y. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe I kind of just gave it a little shove in a direction that I like a little bit better. Here's the catalyst, so maybe okay. Just one little touch blue, maybe just enough to give it some interest. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do little pops. Draw through that. Here, pops here. peeking through. I don't know what kind of flowers I'm making. Okay. So I'm kind of liking this. I want something down here. I'm liking this right here. I'm liking this. This needs something over here. And this I need to work on a little bit more. So let's. All right. So I'm liking what I've got so far. I want. I want to bring some more of the green. Just different splatters in different areas. Let's see. Got like a. What I'm trying to do is on some of these bring some of the color off the canvas because even though they're tight, I feel like I need to have something going off the canvases on some sides. Not everything do I want to have in the middle of the painting. So let's say on this one, let's bring some more there. And I'm really loading up my brush with different colors, so it's okay. I think this needs a little pop. I want to maybe add a little light up here. I think the color I want up there. These are colorful. I feel they look like abstracts. I'm actually almost done. I'm just going to put some maybe random dots or petals, I guess. All right, I'm at a point where I think I'm going to stop. I think. Let me just add some. Yeah, that's what it needed. It needed some grounding down here. We do a little bit of the dark right there. Okay. So I'll let these dry, and then what I'll do is I will show you each individual one, and we'll just see if I think I'm done. All right, so here are the 6 of them. They're all dried. And I wanted to go over just a recap of some of the things that I feel I've learned personally when I've created my abstracts. And it really comes into play when it, like on these florals. First of all, using multiple tools, and that helps provide different shapes and different textures. If everything was the same size, in so many years my flowers were the same size. It took me a while to be able to get to the point where I could have different shapes. And that helps with the different tools that you use, different size brushes, palette knives, catalysts, spatulas, spoons to add your paint, different tools. 2, darks and lights. And you can see that in the greenery I put down. I had like maybe 3 or 4 different color greens, and at the end I added some darker. And adding darks next to light and light next to dark. So if you go and you look through the different paintings, you'll see I may not have on purpose did it, but throughout the years I've learned that's what my eye wants. So I find that I tend to do that just because that's what I seem to crave doing. 3, smooth shapes versus textured shapes. If you have both, it really helps the eye find, wow, that's exciting. If it's all the same flat shape or they're all raised, unless that's what you want. I've seen some beautiful paintings where they're all raised, the same shapes, but I like to have different smooth and textured next to each other. And the same thing goes with lightly or loose looking shapes versus more defined shapes. Like when I put some down with a palette knife and then I use the end of the brush at the very end where I just kind of whipped my paintbrush around, it gave a different shape. 4, small objects versus larger objects have different sizes. If they're all the same size, it just doesn't look as interesting. 5, take some of the color and the shapes off the side of the canvas. That really helps the look of the painting. It's not all like floating in the middle of the canvas. You want to, just take your brush and scoot some of the paint off the side, off the bottom. And then 6, complementary colors next to each other. The eye really likes, it pops. So on top of lights and darks have complementary. If you look at a painting and it all looks the same tone, grab some black and put some black in there, or Payne's gray, so that you have like darker color, and all of a sudden you see what it does to your painting. So I hope these helpful hints at the end have helped you, and I hope just the painting of these abstracts that you've enjoyed the video. And please let me know if you enjoy the video. I'm still building my channel and I'm still trying to get comments and thumbs up. So, to support me, to encourage me to keep going, I really would appreciate it. But main thing, I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching.